Hi YouTube friends, Miles here. We're going to do a garden update. It's mid-July 2023 and I only have like 10 minutes of video on my phone, so we're going to whip through the garden. I'm out here in the pasture garden, which did really poorly last year. I grew squash out here, so we'll probably have some squash bugs and things in this patch. And we do have a little bit, I think, of nitrogen deficiency in the middle there, but it's kind of noticeable. I put some mushroom compost over here and a little bit over here, and the green difference is very noticeable. We have much better success over here. The sorghum, it's also looking a little bit yellow. Again, probably because I didn't really give it that much nutrition, but two different types of sorghum in here, hoping to hybridize them. And yes, this is Canada crookneck squash. Also put some little peppers in here too. They're not looking extremely happy. They look a little bit yellow, but hey, they might survive. We've had a lot of rain, so things have been pretty good out here in terms of watering. Over here we have the market garden. I grew a little bit of broccoli and cauliflower along here. The cauliflower's done. Replanted with lettuce, saving some arugula seed in front there. Under the covers we have radishes. We've got green onions and lettuce beds all over the place. And at the very end we have some beans and a few random lettuce plants going to seed that I'll be saving. And then we're going to come over to the barn garden. We've got this pole structure, which is new this year, with pole beans of various types growing up the netting, zucchini in the middle, Scotia tomatoes getting quite large. I need to reposition some of the staking on there to keep them from falling over. Peppers of a few different kinds, more lettuce going to seed. Comfrey is as thick as it's ever been because of the rain. I'm getting eaten by mosquitoes because of the rain. We've got bronze fennel there. Tons of beans, carrots, cherry tomatoes. Here's the other side of the bean structure. I've got a runner bean growing straight up the guy wire for this. So it's just on the other side of the barn garden here. This is where my garlic was, and I've discovered a yellow jacket nest in the ground, which I've been sucking up with a shop vac. Still battling some numbers of those. Ridiculous numbers of raspberries this year. I cannot keep up to them. They are so thick, but that's fine. That's a good problem, right? Plums. We might actually get to try some plums. I don't know what's going to happen with these. We had quite a bit of plum cucullio damage in there, but that's all right. Over here, what I call the porch garden, we've got more beans. Pole beans growing up the structures, cantaloupe, a finished bed of arugula, lots of lettuce going to seed here, peas, cucumber, tomatoes growing along the fence, more lettuce, green onions, sprouting broccolis, and some really nice onions this year. Might be the best year ever for onions. Planted them really densely, gave them lots of nutrition, and here's some walla wallas that are just about ready. You can see the size of them there. They're okay. They're about 3 inches across or so. Shallots in there too, and some red onions. There's one red onion. Anyway, and we've got all kinds of potted plants and grapes growing along here. More shallots going to seed. Hey, look, some flowers. And along the lean-to, we have a few Amish paste tomatoes, pole beans, flowers, and various things coming up in there, herbs and stuff. I guess I'll also mention the garlic drying in these are bakery crates or bins, or I don't know what you call them. You can stack them really easily and then run a box fan on them and force air through them, and they dry out pretty easily. You can also take them and alternate them if you think the bottom isn't getting enough airflow. Just flip the stack every couple of days, or every day if you want. And so I think, yeah, so that will conclude the garden update, and just showing you the wood chip bed by the driveway. I planted this out with some flowers, and you can't tell right now, but there is a ton of mushroom mycelium in here. It's all wine cap, Stropharia, King Stropharia, and it produced actually a pretty good amount of mushrooms this spring, and so probably by September we'll start seeing another flush of mushrooms. And while I have a few minutes left, I'll show off the prairie garden, which isn't in full bloom yet, but will be fairly soon. Lots of weeds in there, but they're good weeds. A giant ragweed. This is my second prairie garden. Lots of hoary vervain. I put a trellis in here for beans, echinacea, ironweed. I forget what that one's called. This is a different type of runner bean called white emergo. I couldn't find the seed anywhere in Canada, but it seems to be growing and just starting to flower. It's a little bit behind others. It's supposed to also be better for dry soil. We'll see. It's at least holding on to the pole better than the other runner beans. And why not throw in a few other flowering plants? This is Carolina allspice. It's a shrub that flowers for quite a long period, from like late May till into July. Chinkapin, I think that's a dwarf chinkapin oak. The cup plant just starting to flower. This is one of my favorite plants. And this year, the yucca actually flowered. Here's a view of our driveway with these cup plants just starting to flower. They're going to flower really heavily. Okay, I think that's all for today. Hope you enjoyed some of that. If you have questions about anything that you saw in the video, just let me know, and make sure to thumbs up everything. We'll see you next time. Bye.